In the last couple weeks, I've switched almost entirely from Claude Code to Codex for my personal coding and even productivity tasks. I really like OpenAI's models right now. GPT 5.5, especially on high reasoning, I think is better than Claude Opus. Now, Fable, which we had for a few days, and maybe by the time this video is released, it'll be back. I hope it is. May be better than 5.5. I didn't have enough time to really know for sure. But as of now, I think 5.5 is the best model and Codex is the best platform for using it. The second main benefit that I like with Codex is the fact that the integrated browser works so well with the AI agent. I'm going to show you what that looks like and what that means in this video. And then I also just really like the UI of using Codex, the commands. There's a goal feature and just how easy it is to use these features inside of Codex and get work done. So I am really enjoying it. And I'm going to show you in this video what you need to know about Codex to master 90% of it by just watching this video. You're going to be ahead of almost every single person who is using Codex or building with AI if you watch this video and understand these things about Codex. Now, I mentioned models. New models are getting released all the time. Click the link in the description to subscribe to our free daily AI newsletter so you make sure you never miss a new AI model. If you click the link and enter your email, you'll get tomorrow's newsletter. I'm going to start by explaining the interface of Codex, assuming that you have never used Codex before. So if you've used Codex before, you already have an understanding of the interface. Feel free to skip ahead to the next part of the video. But if you haven't, you need to know that there are 3 sections here on the sidebar. There's pinned. This is where you can pin chats and they will show up at the top at all times. There's projects. So projects are essentially folders that are on your computer. So every time you're building inside of Codex, you're writing code or creating documents and they're being saved on your computer. So if I click that button, projects, for example, we can use an existing folder on our computer and give Codex access to that folder, meaning it can create files, it can delete files, it can edit files, or we can start from scratch. And doing that, I really like because it just creates a new file or a new folder on our computer. So I'm going to call this, let's say, video tutorial, and I'm going to save. So now there's a new project on our computer. This is literally a project on our computer called video tutorial. Then there's chats. Chats are nice if you want to just ask it a question. This is kind of like, not every question that you ask needs to be inside of a folder. You don't necessarily need every question you ask AI to have all the context of the folder. That's something else that's really cool is that all the context of the folder will be used in your answers. But chats is just if you want to ask a one-off question. So I really like how it's all here combined in one sidebar, as opposed to in the Claude app, for example, you have tabs on the top to go from chat to co-work to code. Here we just have chats, and then I kind of combine co-work and code together depending on what I'm building. Now, we're going to start building in this to show you how it works. So the first example I'm doing is more of a productivity task. And then I'm going to show you how we can turn this into a coding task afterwards. So the task is please research 10 ice cream stores in New York City and create a spreadsheet with their address and name, please. So it's going to use the spreadsheet workflow for the workbook, verify New York City shop names and addresses, and then it's going to create the sheet on our own computer. And you're going to see exactly what this looks like. And you're also going to see some other cool features coming up about how we can manipulate this data. Okay, so it did the work for us. And it created a spreadsheet. So this spreadsheet is on our computer. What's really nice about Codex, and what I think it does a really good job at, is creating this preview on the right side now. So we can preview what it put together. So we can see created 10 rows of ice cream stores with their addresses and the neighborhood. And this is literally on our computer. We can open in Numbers and export it to Google Sheets as well, or open it up in our folder on our computer. So what I'm going to show you next is what's going to take this to the next level. So I'm going to show you this feature of goal. So if we do a slash command of goal, and there's tons of slash commands, so you should know, this is just something you need to know about Codex. If you do a slash command, you can see there's a ton of things you can do here. in addition to calling skills. Again, that's something else. I'm going to talk more about skills later in the video. Skills will also be called automatically, but if you want to specifically make sure one's called, you can use the / command. But what I'm going to do is do a goal. So what's cool about goals is now on the bottom, this goal is set. We can click that button to clear it as well. But what I'm going to do is say, find 20 more and add to the sheet. So the goal could also be good. Like I could say find 200 more. If I just want this to keep working and working and working until it's done, for the sake of speed, I'm just going to say 20. And what's going to happen now is on the bottom, we're going to see this pursuing goal, find 20 more and add to the sheet. And it's going to have a timer. And it's just going to work now until it finds 20 more to get to 30. Now, could I have sent this without the goal? And would this have still worked? Most likely, yes. But what I think is really cool about the goal, especially if you want to do really long running tasks, is that Codex is going to keep checking back to the goal to see if it's done or not, and then keep working if not. So it can burn through your tokens. So you want to make sure that you're aware of that when you're using a goal. But I think it's a really cool way to do long running tasks. And even this is, 20 more. It's not the easiest task as to go and get that information. But so now if we refresh for the latest, we can see we now have 30 rows of ice cream stores. So it did that within the goal. We could see goal achieved in 2 minutes, 30 seconds, but I've had goals running for an hour before, depending on the complexity of the task that you want to complete. So what I'm going to do now is transition from using this as a productivity tool to an AI coding tool. So what we're going to do is take this data and create a directory website for me, please. So we're going to see Codex now change from just this productivity tool, which is like Claude Code, for example. And it is going to take the spreadsheet data and it's going to create a website for us. While it's doing that, I'm going to talk about some other things that you need to know about Codex. So first, we have plugins. Plugins range from things that allow you to create and edit spreadsheet files, presentations. These are built into Codex. There's also plugins to connect to your own data, like Gmail, for example, to read and manage Gmail. This is a really cool one. You can connect to tools like Figma, Notion to bring in your own data. Then there's also skills. So plugins and skills, they're kind of hiding behind here. So skills are essentially prompts that the AI agent can decide when to use. And they can also be on specific projects. So this is a specific project that I have with skills added to it. So if we click on it, for example, you can see this is a minimalist UI skill, and it's giving information for the agent on how to create minimal UI. So skills are separate from plugins. Plugins are built into Codex, so they're kind of special to Codex, whereas skills are just basically prompts that can be interoperable between Codex and other AI agent tools as well. So Claude, for example, has skills also, but you do need to know the difference. There's also automations. Automations allow you to run chats on a schedule or whenever you need them. So you can create like a daily brief, a weekly review. One thing to know is that automations do only run while your computer is open because Codex does not run in the cloud for you right now in the way that like Manus would. But let's say we want to run a daily brief, set up an automation that gives me a morning brief each weekday, what's on my calendar, unread emails, anything that needs my attention. So we could send that off and then we would have an automation run on a schedule here inside of Codex. So very cool. And this is something you can see that Codex is pushing more into like the productivity Claude Code angle here with automations. You also need to know that Codex can be used from your phone. So you can connect your phone to your Mac. Again, you need your Mac to be on. So if you have a laptop, you need to keep it on. As long as Codex is running on your computer that's turned on, you can, from your phone, run Codex. This is a really, really cool feature and allows you to keep working with Codex from your phone when you're not actually at your computer. So I'm just going to jump back into our website build here real quick. It's still building, but something that I want to show you that I think is really cool is what it's doing is it will literally take screenshots. So this is, if you zoom in, you can see what it's building here, but it is taking screenshots of the actual app or website to preview it, and it'll debug as it goes. So it's really smart about that. I think this 5.5 model is really, really good. I am using it on 1.5x speed, which increases usage. You can use it on standard as well, but for this video, I'm using it on 1.5x speed, but you should know that you can change the speed here. But if I click that now here, and this is one of my favorite features as well of Codex, is it's really easy to preview what it created. We just click it here. You can see this is on my computer. It's literally on my computer. We haven't deployed it anywhere, but it turned it into a website. So this is a website. You can see it built all of the files for it, and it works. So we can click through to the different boroughs here in New York and see the ice cream store. So it did it successfully. But what I want to show you actually is another really cool feature of Codex. So there's so much to share about it. If we send a prompt and say, I want you to find 5 more stores, use at browser. And this is a plugin, the browser plugin in Codex. And you are going to see something really cool. You're going to see the AI using the browser. So I'm going to say, I want you to find 5 more stores and use the browser to do this. So what's going to happen is the AI is literally going to open up a browser here on the right side, and you're going to see the AI use the browser. So it's going to use the in-app browser to do this. Okay, so here we are on the right side. This is the AI. So it's literally, I'm not touching the computer right now. It is searching for this ice cream store. And we can see on the left side, it's kind of like thinking and saying what it's doing. It's clicking into it. I wonder if it can get past these cookie settings, so it can, or if it even needs to see the content. So as you can see, my cursor is to the left of the AI cursor here. Okay, it's searching for another one. Okay, so we don't have to keep going, but I just want to show you this because this is what's so powerful about the Codex app is it integrates so well with the browser inside here. And you could have the AI do tasks for you, literally do tasks for you, like entering in forms, for example, by using this browser. Well, and I'm going to actually show you another example of this just to show you what I mean. So maybe we'll come back to this, but hopefully you get the point here of just how cool this is. This is another really cool feature. There's just so many. It automatically compacts context. So you can even use the same chat and just keep going for weeks. It'll build up context about you or about what you're building. And the context will just keep getting compacted, and it does it automatically. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to start a new chat. So I think that's just something that it does in a really, really good way. But what I want to do is I'm going to open up a new chat, and I'm going to say, just to show you this browser capability, I'm going to say, go to nocode.mba/newsletter, enter seth@nocode.mba as the email, and submit. And I'm going to say, use at browser. And this is where you'll see not only can the agent use the browser to get information, it can use the browser to take action. So it's going to use the browser plugin, and it's going to open up the browser. It opens our newsletter page. You should click the link in the description as well if you want to get this newsletter and stay up to date on everything happening in AI. We basically take all of the most important updates from X and send it to you. So it submitted the email, it took the action, and then now this is what we have as kind of our next step after you enter in your email. But it literally worked. Like it was able to go to a website and take action, and the capabilities of this are so powerful. If you think about just like all of the possible things that it could do, there's just so much that it could do with this that even I need to think about how can I take advantage of this capability? Because you're watching this video and you're learning this, you're ahead of so many other people who don't even know that something like this is possible. And now back to our website that we built, it added the 5 more with the browser task that we gave it. So I just shared really simple examples of how to code with Codex, but I'm building really, really complex apps, really large code bases using Codex. So this is just scratching the surface of what's possible. From a coding perspective, the reason that I really like this model is that I think it does a really good job of working across a really complex code base and being really smart about the way that it codes and writes codes and works with your code base. So just from a coding perspective, that's why I also really like Codex, but we're just kind of scratching the surface here of what's possible and showing you the capabilities. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Click the link in the description to sign up for our free AI Daily newsletter. It's curated specifically with AI builders in mind, so new AI models that are coming out, new things that are happening in Codex or Claude Code or Manus or Lovable, any of these AI app building tools. And subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more free content like this. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.